Yo, yo, yo. What's good, everyone? Thank you for joining us this afternoon. It's a blessing to have you all here with us. We've got a very special afternoon lined up. I'm, of course, Mooncey, if you don't know, host of the Hoop Genius podcast, the UK's #1 show for all things basketball. And very excited today. When I got the call for this event, I was so gassed because the NBA and Footlocker, two of the most iconic brands in the world, who've been working in partnership for the last 13 years across Europe. They've been doing great work all across the continent, refurbishing and building basketball courts so that we have basketball available at grassroots level for the young people to come in and play. And it's not just great work they've been doing on basketball courts like they have up the road at Clapham Common. They're also organising special events like this one today. So first of all, I need you guys to make some noise for the NBA and Footlocker for putting on this show. And like I said, they're doing a lot right now. So this afternoon, we're blessed to be in the company of one of the best to ever do it. If any of you guys have ever seen a picture of me when I was younger, I was wearing clothes that were 5XL, 6XL, all baggy. And I know a bunch of you guys in the crowd were as well, because that was the style, a cultural icon, a Hall of Famer, an MVP, 11-time All-Star. I could be here reading accolades all day. But I've got to do something I've always wanted to do. A 6-foot guard from the University of Georgetown. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for number 3, Allen Iverson.
What's up, baby?
My man, take a seat, bro. We've got a mic for you right here. All right, first of all, I need you guys to make more noise than that. This is Allen Iverson. Make some more noise. That's better. That's better. The answer. AI, Bubba Chuck, man of many names, legendary. How are you enjoying London so far?
Love it. Great. Hospitality, great. Weather. It was not, I ain't do that. But a little chilly.
Well, the bad weather, that makes some of the young kids in here some serious hoopers playing outside in all weather. So I want to take this opportunity for you to impart your wisdom to them because it's all about the next generation.
All right.
So we're going to get straight into it. When you have the ball and you're on the court with a defender in front of you, what's going through your mind when you're trying to cross a guy up and get to the basket or get your shot off?
A long time ago, so.
I know you still got it.
I'm old. No, I don't. Trust me. I can shoot it, but all that other stuff, nah. What's going through my mind?
What are you looking at on the defender? What are you trying to do?
I don't see him. I see the basket. I see the lane. I see the opportunity to create for my teammates. I never worry about the first guy. Just the other 4 guys that I'm concerned about.
Okay, well you've had some pretty iconic crossovers, even without thinking about them. Is there one that stands out to you in your memory that was like your favorite moment that you've had in an NBA game?
Across?
Yeah.
Well, y'all want me to be cliche and say Mike, but not that one. That one wasn't. I mean, I think that one was legendary just because it was him. That's why it was a big deal. You know, I would say my favorite would probably be, I think the one I had on John Stockton. At the Tiger's Key. And then as far as just a move, I would say Antonio Daniels, that one. I think that was crazy. But the John Stockton one, I just love that one because I thought his leg was broke.
I can see a couple of the OG hoop fans nodding their heads. For the younger cats, you're going to have to go on YouTube after this and check those out. 2 iconic moments.
Yeah, definitely.
But when you were growing up, and when you were a young baller making your way to college, to the NBA, who were your inspirations and whose game did you try and look at and try and emulate?
Mike. I literally wanted to be like Mike, for real. It's my inspiration, my hero, my idol. He was the vision for Allen Iverson. He made me want to play the game. You know what I mean? But without him, there would be no Allen Iverson. So shout out to Mike, man. You know, that was my inspiration. That was my guy. But as far as my game, you know, obviously I wanted to jump like Mike. I wanted to pass like Magic. I wanted to be fast like Isaiah. I wanted to rebound like Barkley. I wanted to shoot like Bird. I wanted to be dominant like Shaq. And I just implemented all of that into create who I ultimately became as a basketball player. So I took from the guys before me, you know what I mean, and just tried to put it into my game. So I give credit to a lot of guys when it comes to the development of my game and the maturation of my game.
Well, we're thankful that you took all of that into your game and put on a show,
Sure.
because it wasn't just your game that inspired people. You've had an impact around the world. Even over here in England, when we were growing up, we were wearing headbands and a shooting sleeve. And off the court, your style is very iconic as well. What influenced your style off the court?
Me just being me. I think the easiest thing in the world to do is be yourself. You know what I mean? I think that's what makes me comfortable. Just being myself. And not wanting to, you know, I wanted to be like Mike on the basketball court, but, you know, off of the court, I'm myself. I love the person that I am. If I die today, I come back, I want to be me all over again. And I don't think, you know, with everybody in this room, I don't think there's nothing wrong with being you, who you are. It's a disrespect to the creator, the person that made you, to want to be somebody else. He blessed you, you know, to be you, you know, and then what's wrong with being you? Everybody else is taken up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, and I dressed like the guys from my neighborhood, you know what I mean? So, you know, when they talk about my style and how I changed the game, the dress code and all that, you know, I think the older guys from my neighborhood are supposed to take credit for that.
Well, when you got to the NBA, you were the #1 pick in one of the best draft classes of all time, the '96 draft class. Of course, you had legendary Kobe Bryant, Steve Nash, and a whole bunch of other guys. How did you deal with the pressure of being the #1 pick?
There's no pressure in basketball to me. I mean, you know, there's other things in life that I've been through far worse than going out there doing something that I love to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never understood. You know, we talked about it last night at dinner. I guess, in a sense, certain guys are different to where it's, you know, that's not pressure to me. I understand with certain guys during the game, you know, the first 45 minutes of a game, you want to touch the ball, you want it in your hands all the time, and then in the last 3 minutes, you don't want to touch it like a hot potato in your hand. You know what I mean? But me, I relish it. I wanted that, and it's sort of like, you know, playing on the road, or, you know, and playing at home. You know, some guys can play well at home, but, you know, can do it on the road, couldn't deal with the crowd and the hostile environment. But I relished it. Like, you know, I want to shut them up. You know, it's easy to, you know, get down when, you know, everybody's on your side and everybody's cheering for you. But when you get in there and 20,000 people are booing you and they're against you, you know, the excitement comes from wanting to shut them up. You know what I mean? I felt like the bigger the lights, you know, and I don't ever say I would play harder in certain games. I played the same way regardless if I'm playing pickup or we're at practice or if we in a regular season game or a playoff game, you know what I mean, or finals or whatever. I'm gonna play the same way regardless. And I looked at it like the only thing that I really had to do was play harder than everybody else. Like, I realized that some nights I was gonna be off. I knew some nights I was gonna turn the ball over. I might go 0 for Winfrey from the field and just have a overall bad game. But I felt good about myself after I got a shower and look in the mirror. I could look at myself and feel good about myself because I know I played as hard as I could. You know what I mean? So pressure, nah. There's too many other things in life that's pressure. Basketball is just love. It's just a game.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great mentality to have. A lot of guys talk about when they get to the league, welcome to the league moment, a particular matchup, particular someone they had to guard. What was your welcome to the league moment?
Man, that's a great question. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was 21 years old, I was a rookie, and we were playing the Phoenix Suns in Phoenix. And like throughout my life or career, like I never had nobody like destroy me. You know what I'm saying? Like just simply bust my ass. Like I never experienced that. And man, Kevin Johnson, like, I mean, like, and I was like, he was stronger than me, obviously. 9 times out of 10, everybody was, but I was quicker, I was faster, I could jump higher, more athletic than him, everything. But his mind, you know what I mean? Just basketball mind, he just outclassed me, you know what I mean? Just backdooring me, and you know what I mean? He just knew the game more than I did, you know what I mean? He outsmarted me during the game, and he had 36, 9, and 9. And I remember being in the locker room, and we had lost the game. I was in the locker, and I was actually in tears. And Mo Cheeks came up to me and was like, man, don't worry about it, AI, one day you'll get somebody 36, 9, and 9. You know what I mean? And this many years later, it's like, but I still remember getting my ass tore up, you know, like that. So I don't, you know, when I do it to somebody else, I never regretted it or never felt bad about it because I was in that position before it was done to me.
Yeah, you gave people 36, more than 36 a whole bunch of times. When you look back at your entire NBA career, you know, you're in the Hall of Fame. Is there a particular game or a particular moment that stands out to you as your favorite memory from playing in the NBA?
Favorite moment or favorite like game memory? Game memory or memory?
Either or.
My favorite memory is just being drafted. You know, whether it was being first or the last pick, it didn't matter. Just, you know, everything that I've been through in my life and where I come from and what I had to overcome and the work that I put in, the trials, tribulations, the ups and downs, falling and getting back up. It was a, you know, I think it was like a tribute to my family, my friends, teammates that I've had, coaches that I had all over the years. You know, because, you know, to become who I am or who I ultimately became in the league, you can't do this by yourself. You know what I mean? It takes a village. Like you can't do all of this stuff by yourself. There's so many people that play integral parts in your development, your life, and your lesson, and so many mentors. You know, so many people that help you try to stay the course and be able to accomplish, you know, your dreams. So, man, shout out to everybody else besides me that helped me, you know, get to this point.
Well, speaking of other people helping you, I want to put you on the spot here. I want you to give us your all-time starting 5 with teammates that you've played with over the years. If you had to make your ultimate Allen Iverson lineup with yourself starting, which other 4 guys are you picking?
Besides,
including you,
including me
to maximize your skill set to go out there.
Oh, okay. Eric Snow, Aaron McKee, Theo Ratliff, Dikembe Mutombo, and I was.
That's a heavy lineup. 6 man.
How many was that?
That was 4.
Including me?
Yeah, plus you. That's 5.
Okay, cool.
Now I'm gonna ask you another one. I'm gonna ask you another one, and if you include yourself, it's up to you. I need your all-time starting 5 from any player to ever play.
I got you. Steph Curry, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal.
I'm seeing a lot of nods in the crowd. I'm seeing a lot of nods. That's a popular lineup. In regards to this season now, with the current group of NBA players, which players do you watch that really stand out to you? Who's your favorite players to watch right now?
My favorite player is Steph. I like Luka. I like Kyrie. I like Dame. I like Giannis.
Which guys do you think could go into your era and play?
All
these
of
guys,
them.
all of them.
All of them. Durant, Embiid. Damn, I can be here all day.
Now there's so much talent in the league.
Yeah,
But
and then, you know what's so dope about that? It's like, you know, when someone retires from the game, obviously if you're a big fan of that person, you're gonna miss them, and you know it'll be a sad day for you, because you love that player so much. But like, the league is so crazy that it won't miss a beat. You know what I mean? It's just gonna keep getting better and better and better, and the players gonna get better. Like, we sit around, we talk about how Steph is the greatest shooter to ever play the game, and he is, hands down. Like, people don't even argue it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, Ray Allen wouldn't argue it, Reggie Miller wouldn't argue, Larry Bird wouldn't argue. You know what I mean? Everybody know, hands down, that he's the best shooter. But when you think about it, before Steph came, we thought it would never be a shooter like Larry Bird. Then Reggie Miller came. Then Ray Allen came. Then it's the same thing with Mike. You know what I mean? Right when you think, Mike's the greatest ever, which he is. Which he is. But then Kobe Bryant come along.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Then you got, LeBron James. Like, I get kind of, upset at times when people talk about the comparison of LeBron and Mike, and I'm like, damn, like, people actually forget. Like, out of sight, out of mind is real. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, nobody talking about the Mamba when you comparing who's the best that ever played. And that's no. I mean, I'm not shitting on LeBron. I think LeBron is like, you look in the dictionary and look up the word basketball player to be a picture of LeBron James. You know what I mean? Like, he's that great, every aspect of his game. But as far as GOAT, I mean, it's Michael Jordan all day long, and Kobe Bryant is right on his heels.
Now, as someone who went up against Kobe, tell us what that was like, because I know Kobe came to visit London, and that meant a lot to a lot of people, especially in this room right now. You having this visit here makes a big impact as well on the culture of basketball. So what was it like on the inside, going head to head with the Mamba?
I'll define it like this. When we were rookies, I came to LA and he took me out. Took me out for dinner. And when we finished, it might have been 11, 12 o'clock, something like that. And I was like, well, look, man, what you gonna do? I'm going to the club. And I was like, what you gonna do? And he was like, I'm going to the gym. It's like, yo, this dude right here, man, like, vicious, ferocious. The ultimate competitor. Go extremely, extremely hard. And at some point, like, until after he passed, I didn't really understand. And after I retired, I thought he didn't like me, honestly. You know what I mean? Because of how he was on the basketball court. We would speak, whatever, before the game, after the game, or whatever. But during the game, it was like, damn, this dude got a problem with me. But then hearing the stories, the people that loved him, the people in his family, tell me stories about how he admired me and how he talked about how much I pushed him, and but playing against him, homie was a dog, man. Dog.
Who were the, let's say, top 3 toughest opponents you had to go up against?
Toughest? Guard me or me guarding him?
Both, because it was an era where the best players would try and guard each other, you know what I mean?
I had a problem with Steve Nash, especially on pick and rolls. Like, he was a a monster. I mean, Steve used to give me major problems. I would say definitely Stephon Marbury. Headache, straight headache. Other than that, I really didn't have. What you think? I ain't really had too many people. No, honestly, I won't know. I'm not sitting here like I was a defense. I was not no defensive player. You know what I mean? I played the passing lane. Like I was honestly, and I ain't never said this. Like I said it to my friends and my family. I ain't never said it publicly, but I was always one of them guys that didn't want to end up like one of the guys that I do it to. So I wouldn't press up on nobody and you know what I'm saying, and welcome trying to get crossed over or done wrong. Like, and I've been hit with some shit before, and fortunately for me, the guy didn't make the shot. You know, you don't make the shot, it don't make ESPN, it don't make none of the highlights. So I've been done wrong. And guard me, I think it was tough with Cole because you had to come with your best every time. And I don't think you guys probably don't know Marcus Banks, but I'll never not give him his credit for him being tough. Marcus Banks was tough for me. But for the most part, I mean, I ain't had too many problems with nobody.
Man, that's the perfect answer. If we were to put a prime AI into the NBA right now, how many are you giving them a night? I
don't know, man. And everybody got their outlook on what they think it would be. And I don't know. This question is asked a lot, and I try to analyze it, and I try to, figure out why everybody say that I would average so much more. And I guess it's probably because the floor is spaced out a lot more. So after you beat that first guy, you right there at the basket, them layups. So I mean, I tell you what, I look at it like this. And this is my honest opinion. When I came into the league, when I was in college, they played boxing ones. They double teamed me. They played 1-3-1s. They played 2-3. They played 2-1-2, whatever. They all the junk defenses. And my teammates in college used to tell me like, "Damn, Chuck, like when you get to the league, they can't run zone on you." You know what I mean? Like it's all one-on-one, all game long. So I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have a field day. Like who the hell can just guard me one-on-one for 48 minutes all game long? So I'm like, all right, cool. So 4 scoring titles later, all of a sudden, here come the zone. You know what I mean? Like the history of the NBA was never no zones. I'm talking about you can go all the way back to when, dudes was wearing shorts up here, all the way back to where it was black and white. You know what I mean? When everybody had on Chuck Taylors. There was never a zone. Then all of a sudden, I want y'all to just feel this conspiracy. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden this 6-foot dude come winning scoring titles, then all of a sudden we're gonna implement the zone again. But and that's the way I look at today's game. Now, it takes it back to when I first came in. No zones, no junk defenses. So I know it'll be a lot more. And then, the big men are outside now. You got centers shooting threes now. Mm-hmm. So I probably would have a field day. But we'll never know.
So we're going to open the floor up to the audience for some questions. I've got one more for you before we do that.
Solid.
Obviously, when we talk about basketball, you're one of the first names that springs to mind, but you've also had a huge impact on the culture and on hip-hop as well. We all know the iconic commercial with Jadakiss and the part 2 where you're rapping as well. You've had your own ventures in rapping. I want to get from you the 5 songs that you would listen to before you go and hoop to get yourself in the zone.
5 songs. can't say 5 of his songs. It was only one person I listened to, so I can name 5. I can name 5 artists.
Yeah, go ahead.
Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson, and Michael Jackson.
Man, I wasn't expecting that still.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, but
Got to listen to Mike.
we're gonna open up the floor to some questions from the audience right now. So if you've got a question, put your hand up. Harry over here is gonna mediate, so get involved.
Hey, it's an honor to meet you. What I wanted to ask, you mentioned earlier in the interview, if you died, it's a bit more of it. If you died and came back, you want to be yourself. But you was very talented as a football player as well, Belleville High. So would you potentially think about coming back as a football player and seeing what that route would take? And also, how did you navigate being so talented in both sports and picking which one to take?
Wow, damn right. And this the beauty of this type of event. Like, I mean, it's you know, you have reporters and they ask the same thing all the time. I mean, and
How do you do me like that?
No. I ain't throwing my man out there because you're doing a great job. Great job. I mean, and it's interesting. It's fun. I love the questions you ask me. But damn, that was deep. That was awesome. And it's I promise you, 47 years old, and I've never got that question. Damn. I mean, I guess you got to know my story I got in trouble in high school, and I was incarcerated, wrongfully incarcerated, and I was recruited by everyone in the country in both sports, and football was my first love. I didn't want to play basketball at all. My mom, I came home one day, I was 8 years old, and she said I was going to basketball practice, and I went crazy, kicking, screaming, crying. They had to drag me out of the house because I didn't want to play basketball because I thought it was soft. Now, this many years later and all the injuries and Shaquille O'Neal and guys like that, I realized that the game wasn't soft. But then that's what I thought. I did not want to play basketball. I was telling her I'm a football player. I don't play basketball. Basketball is soft. Then I went to the practice that day and saw all of the guys that were on my football team trying out for the basketball team. I came home and like, it really was because of my mom. I mean, I say Mike, but like she forced it on me, and everything else is history. But football, I mean, that was it for me. You know what I mean? And I know it don't sound modest at all, and it's not cocky, it's not arrogant. It's just who I am as far as my confidence. And I think that I am and would have been a way better football player than a basketball player. I really believe that. And that was the only reason that I didn't play. My plans were to go to college and play both sports. And when I got in trouble in high school, all of the teams that were recruiting me for football and basketball stopped. You know what I mean? I had no offers from anyone after being recruited by everybody in both sports in the country. And my mom basically went to Georgetown and begged for my life. You know what I mean? She asked Coach Thompson to basically save my life, and he gave me an opportunity, and that's how I ended up playing football. Now, I used to come from class, and we had to pass the football field for me to get to the gym. So every day, I used to look at the field and watch the guys practicing, and I used to literally cry. You know what I mean? Like, just get emotional. It just used to mess me up. And one day I got the courage to ask Coach Thompson, could I play football? You know what I mean? Because I had started, on my way to the gym, I had started, going another way, like the long way, just to avoid seeing the field. And I can't say on camera, and it's kids in here. I can't say what he said to me, but I never thought about playing football after that again. And was it the second part to that? I know I was long-winded, but I just had to give you the history of, why.
The second part was, how do you navigate having to pick between the two? And like you mentioned.
Oh, Coach picked for me.
You personally, as a human being, because I know a lot of people in this room, they might have aspirations of going to the NBA, and they might not be able to make that happen. But being in that position where you know you was talented in both areas, having to like settle with yourself, that you're not going to take it on as a football player and going down the basketball route.
It was definitely a great plan B, great plan A and B. If you think about it, you know what I mean. And I think, and that's real important. That's for everybody in this room. I know it's cliche. You can be anything you want to be in life. Like, and people really think that. Like, I think kids today, really like you hear that and they like, yeah, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and I tell people, I want to be like you, Allen Iverson. Like, no, don't be like me. Be better than me. You know what I mean? And I tell a kid like, and I know kids and people in general, not just kids. Like, yeah, whatever, man. You know what I mean? But it's really true. Like, I'm living testimony of the fact that you can come from wherever. And I don't use that excuse of everybody come from the projects and all that. I don't use that excuse, you know what I mean, or say that no more. I don't care where you're from. You could be a silver spoon mouth person and, you know what I mean, still whatever you want to be in life, if you apply yourself and because you know what it takes. Everybody act like they don't know what it takes. When and I tell kids all the time, when you sitting at home and you all day long and there's somebody outside like this in the rain, snow, sleet, hail, and they working on this, and they want it for real. You know what I mean? They want it for real. So I mean, it's just applying yourself and wanting it for yourself. You know what I mean? Because from what I know, I don't know nobody that went to heaven and came back, or went to hell and came back, or whatever. And so what I know is you live once. So it's your life. You got one opportunity to do whatever you want to do. You get the same 24 hours in the day that everybody else get. Make the best of it.
We got another question here at the front.
So this is something that's close to me. I just wanted to ask if, in your active career, were you aware of the impact you make in Europe, the basketball fans of Europe, the players of Europe, and if you did, how did you hear about it? Because those times when you're active, you weren't coming to Europe that much. In fact.
When I was active?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, Reebok had me. I was. Huh?
19.
Yeah, I was everywhere. In the summertime. I was all over Europe in the summertime when I was playing. Now, much more now because, when you have, like, I have obviously fans in the States, but I think the hardest part of being who I am and being retired, and when you get a big fan base like that, you just try to do your best as far as with your team, and being able to get to those places that really support you and love you the way they, loved and supported me throughout my career. But hopefully I get to live a long time, and now it doesn't have to be in the summer for me to visit different parts of the country. You know what I mean? I did all the hard work now. You know what I mean? Now it's time for the people that supported me, just get that love back.
That's right. We're in the middle of the season right now. AI, you got a pick for the championship this year?
Yeah, Sixers. I mean, that's who I wanted to be. But I mean, I love when Steph hoists the trophy. So, but at the same time, if my Sixers don't win, I think what I root for is the guy that's the superstar and the guy that put in all that work that didn't win one yet. Like, I don't want the feeling of not winning a championship is not a great feeling for people like me. And I was talking to David Beckham today, and I was telling him that not so much for me is I wanted to see the joy and the look in the guys that went through the war with me. I wanted to see that look in their eyes, and I never got an opportunity to see it. The opportunity that I got in the lasting images that I had was pain in their eyes after, getting right there and losing it. If I could do it all over again, and I know it may sound crazy to some people, but I would rather not go than to get there and lose.
We got time for some more questions from the crowd.
I think we're good for questions.
All right.
Time-wise.
All right,
What
unfortunately.
time? Where you gotta be? Man, this is for the people, man.
The people's champion.
For the people.
We got a question from one of the best slam dunkers in the world. This guy got crazy hops. Off we go.
Appreciate it, man. That being said, I would love to know what's your all-time favorite dunk contest dunk that you've seen?
Vince. The one with Vince in it. Yeah, I mean, it's over. That one. That one. I mean, obviously the Mike from the free throw line. The joint where Levine was in it. Who was that in the finals with Levine? Was it Gordon?
Aaron Gordon.
Gordon. That one. That one. This last one was, They had the rebound from last year. This year they had it. They were suffering. They better thank Matt for that. The NBA, because he brought it back. You know what I mean? And what's little homie name that was in the finals with him?
Trey Murphy.
Yeah, Murphy was crazy. But that one, which the Nate Robinson ones, him and
Dwight.
Kryptonite.
Right? Yeah. What you think? Your favorite one? Zach LaVine, yeah. Zach LaVine was crazy. Like, what was the one where Gerald Green was in? Where he blew the
Cupcake. The cupcake.
Yeah.
That was the same one as Nate Robinson, though.
Oh yeah? Yeah. That one was dope too. Yeah, great question. That's awesome.
We got time for one last one.
We won't have time for photos. They want one. That's it. So we won't have time for photos.
It's my answers,
guys
man.
go pick.
It's my long-winded ass answers. That's all it is.
How do you have the ability to play through all of the injuries and the pain? And how was you still able to perform at such a level with so many injuries?
Man, it had to be, I think it had to be 100% God. I can't take credit for that. I don't, and I wish I had a definitive answer. Like, I wish I had an answer, but I really don't know, because I remember like waking up right before shoot around 9 o'clock in the morning and trying to walk to the bathroom and barely make it. You know what I mean? And then get to the arena, and then you looking, these guys in the locker room, you looking in their eyes, and we might have a big game or a game, period. You know what I mean? And then the adrenaline, and you start to hear, the people outside, because the locker room doors open, you start to hear the people filling in, and it's like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Let's go, man. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, it was plenty of times like I've came back from a separated shoulder and played like I was supposed to be out 3 weeks. And I was out a week and got to the gym, and I remember I was a rookie. We was playing the Knicks, and we were terrible the year before I got there, and we were terrible the year I got there. But so we didn't sell out the arena. But when we played the Knicks, it would always sell out. And I saw that crowd. I was like, no, I'm playing. And I played, and it was like one of the worst decisions in my life, because the pain that I was in after that game. You know what I mean? But it was just like the adrenaline. But then when the adrenaline go down, then that's when reality set in. So I don't know, man. I would just really say that it had a lot to do with, you know, wanting to be with my mob and just wanting to be there for my squad. That's it.
Well, it's all about the energy of the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to make some noise. Take the roof off the building for Allen Iverson.